All right guys, it's time for another campground review. We're going to take a look at the KOA in Great Falls, Montana. So as you exit the city and come into the campground, you are engulfed by a beautiful and well thought out landscape. The things they have done amazing at here is the way that they've created the landscape in a city area. Like they're just on the edge of the city, but Great Falls is right out the doorway there, right? So they've done an amazing job of making it feel like you are tucked away in the woods and giving you that nature feel, which of course that's something that's big to me. So my favorite sites would actually be anything in this center area of the park, or to me this is an older growth area. So if you're coming here and requesting a campground spot, ask to be parked in the area that has the most trees. It is honestly the most beautiful, unless for some reason your trailer is so big that the trees will actually get in the way. But like this is a massive spot and the trees are way up there and it's just beautiful. This is a beautiful side of their campground. Lots of trees, beautiful setups in here. I'm not sure I understand why they don't fill it first. It's such a pretty section. And you can get a sense like how gorgeous it is to camp here in October. What a beautiful place to stay. The sites have the usual water, power, sewer, and fire pits and picnic tables. There is something about the fine touches here. This little sundial is pretty darn cute, and sure enough, it is 3 o'clock. So this more treed area is so vastly different than the section that we're in. This section here is the section that we are camped in. I think we're up here 204, I believe is the one that we are at. So this is the area that is significantly less treed. So for me, I really wish I was in the prettier treed-in spot for sure, but it might be a matter of preference for you. You might not care and may not need all that. One advantage of this section is the open sky view that you can get. Here's another good look at the difference between the two spaces. If you're in sites 40 to about 55, these sites, they're probably going to be a tad noisier than the other sites. You can hear the city road noise a bit more. You've got less of a buffer because you're not in the middle of the campsite. You're right up against the outside of the campsite. So if you're tenting it, you've got very little buffer from the extra noise. Plus, back in there is a processing plant of some sort. Looks like gravel. A lot of big trucks coming in and out of there, and a lot of noise from those guys. You've got brakes and big engines. So it's in this section in here that is all your best spots. Some of these are actually more designed for smaller units. These spots in here can take some of the bigger units. But if you can get yourself into in this section here, this is pretty much anything in there is a really great spot. Now this is the side all along in here, where over here is a plant or construction site of some sort where there's all that beeping noise. So if you have a trailer, it probably isn't as bad, but those tenting units, I think that would be complex. But in here is excellent if you can get in this center section. Tenting in here would be probably the absolute best spot for tenting. There are actually 3 or 4 little hidden tent sites that I think are probably the best in the campground. We'll go walk over there and check those ones out. So along this side is all small campsites. In the center there is park, and then there is little cooking kitchen stations in there. It's really quite neat. There's a lot of them. So I don't know if one time like tent camping used to be packed or what, but there are a lot of little kitchen stations in there. But these 3 spots in particular are quite nice. Number 8. number 7, and number 6. 6 maybe not so much because you are right next to the washroom, but when you're in a tent, that actually might be a nice thing. If you're camping with friends, that would be a good way to do it. Get 6, 7, and 8, and then you're all in the same section and you're all close to the washrooms. So they have 3 of these kind of tent buildings. I think that's what they are, is they're tenting buildings where you can actually tent and have a kitchen space, but they've got 3 of these buildings in here. I'm not sure where you park your car. It works in an octagon kind of thing. They have the picnic table, they'll have the fire pit, and you can actually use the plug-in and the little tiny counter space in here. But I'm guessing that's what they do, is you put up your tent in here. And there are showers and restrooms available for, especially for those that are tenting or maybe don't have a washroom in their unit. The campground does have these premium sites available that you can book and stay in, and they basically just offer you this extra ability for it, like a deck, place to sit, barbecue, that kind of stuff. Really nice, I think, if you have a large family and the whole group of you is camping, you're spending a lot of time outside. It's kind of a nice setup. They have really great cabins, and these cabins often have a really great view. This one is a bit hindered by trees, but out behind it is a big open sky. They have this really cool tenting spot. KOAs are so super pet friendly, and that's one thing that I think doesn't get a shout out enough. They have the doggy bag sections ready and available. They have a great dog section. This particular park was super, like, if I were to base it just on being dog friendly alone, it'd be 5 stars, because that nature walk makes it great to take your pet out for a walk. The dog park area just nearby is great. So honestly, these KOAs are excellent if you have pets. I even saw cats being walked on halters. How cute is that? I'm guessing that's a jacuzzi. It's not operational for this time of year, but I'm guessing that's where it would be found. They have a little petting zoo in here. Hi guys! I'm in love with this pig. This pig is so friendly. Hi buddy. Hi. Hi. How are you? Oh yes. How you doing, buddy? Hi. Got nose boops? So right next to the petting zoo is actually a pathway that takes you on a nature walk. It's not a long walk, but it's a nice enough walk that if you have dogs, it's really great for the dogs. The pathway is full of beautiful little stopping points to read up on and to learn about the natural landscape or some of the history as well. From the nature trail, you can actually get a really good sense of the effort that's put into the landscape in order to give you that really great campground feel. You can see the different layers of trees that are going on in there. Those are all beautifully planted in order to give you that feel like you are somewhere tucked away. The cabins, you can see them, they're just overlooking. They must be just beautiful to stand on from their balconies. I would imagine this campground is absolutely packed in the summertime and packed with a lot of families and a lot of kids. It has a lot of really great amenities just for kids. They have a super cool water park, but it's not open again for summer months. It's only open, but I thought it looked really great. If I were a kid, that would be a blast. They do have bike rentals, and kids can get on a train as well, which is cute. These again are not operating at this time of year. They're only operating, it seems to be, during the summer months. They do seem to have what I think is frisbee golf throughout the campground. Lots of access to being able to throw a frisbee around in general. Beautiful park-like settings throughout. They have a massive kids park. They have a basketball hoop, massive volleyball area or badminton area. I'm more of a badminton fan myself, but that would be fun to play out here. The access to amenities is awesome if you have a long-term stay, or if you're staying like you've got a spouse that's working in any of the plants. The access to Walmart is amazing. Like, you don't need a vehicle to be here. I really did not. Despite the fact that I had to walk my laundry over or had to walk for a propane bottle, I really did not need a vehicle to be here. You do, obviously, to get your vehicle, your unit in initially, but not to stay here during the day if you're a spouse of somebody that is going to work nearby. From here, and back in there, that building is actually Walmart. So when we review a campground, we really want you to have a realistic view of the campground. Every business kind of has their negatives or challenges or complexities. So I'm going to give you these kind of things that I didn't love about the campground, but don't hold them against the campground by any means. This was a fabulous campground to stay at. These are just things that I recognized over the time that exist, that they might be a deal breaker for you. They certainly weren't for us, but they were things to be aware of. You do have to watch, the roadways are a bit laden with big bumps. They had been working on it when we got here, but there's still some areas that I think are a bit difficult. Dippy gives the campground a pretty good review. She's really enjoyed the walks here. She's found it to be a very enjoyable space for dogs. Well, you guys, we will be traveling soon to another camping location, so you can expect another review coming soon. So make sure you stay tuned by hitting that subscribe button. And other than that, happy travels.